Bonjour mes amis. Hi guys. I'm sure by now you have heard the big news in the watch world that Rolex has purchased watch retailer Bucherer, a retailer that has many shops across the world, particularly in Europe and in the US, not so much in Asia, I believe. And a lot of people were commenting and speculating about the reasons. And I think a lot of the people commenting are missing the point that Rolex probably could not have afforded not to purchase Bucherer. So it's a family-owned company, Bucherer, and Jörg Bucherer did not have any descendants and decided to sell the business. Now take a look at the portfolio of brands carried by this retailer. We have many brands from big watch groups, Richemont and the Swatch Group, among others. And imagine if one of those groups had done this purchase, and suddenly Rolex, who has always enjoyed a good relationship with Bucherer, would have had to deal with a competing watch group for their distribution. And I don't think that's exactly what they wanted, and it presented itself as an opportunity as well. So, how is that? To me, uh, one of the main problems we've had for the past 3 4 years is with the distribution. So Rolex never wanted to get into distribution. Now they are going to get into it. So typically they would sell the watches wholesale to authorized dealers. And of course, authorized dealers want the Rolex business, so they will abide by their request to purchase the same furniture, to give Rolex the best space, the largest space in front of the stores, even if it's a multi-brand authorized dealer. And Tudor as well benefits from this. And so you get the same Rolex experience all around the world, but really you are not in a Rolex shop. Here in Hong Kong, when you get into a shop that looks like it is a Rolex shop, really you are in a emperor watches or oriental watches. Sometimes I do ask them, who are you exactly? Do I have a VIP membership here by any chance? And as we know, authorized dealers have been using Rolex as a bargaining chip to sell other things or to sell precious metal Rolex in order for their customers to get the watch they really wanted. And a lot of people could not get the watches. Somehow VIPs would get 10, 15 watches a year, and all of those would end up on the secondary market at inflated prices. So now, with this purchase, there is the opportunity for Rolex to control a large authorized dealer and perhaps start some rules. For example, one stainless steel per customer per year, and one precious metal. And that way, more people can get the watch that they really want. A lot of people just want one watch, they don't want to buy a whole collection. And if it works, the other authorized dealers that Rolex cannot really control will lose business and will have to maybe apply the same rules and play fair. Because the thing is that the authorized dealer are playing with the good name of Rolex, and people start commenting negatively about the brand for something that the brand cannot necessarily control. So it gives them control on a large part of the retail in some regions of the world, and I think it will help in that regard. Also, they have this pre-owned certified pre-owned program that started with Bucherer. Maybe it will help as well with it. But another very important point that I wanted to make, as I said, Bucherer sells many brands. Jaeger-LeCoultre, Longines, Oris, Panerai, Piaget, even independents like Ressence and Olance or Moser. They sell Hermes, Grand Seiko, Glashütte Original, Chopard, Cartier, Breitling, Breguet. It's really impressive. So many different brands, and all these brands, I believe, have been selling more watches thanks to Rolex. In the past few years, people got really excited about watches, wanted to buy watches, could not get the Rolex. What would they do? They would go and buy maybe a Cartier Santos. They would go and discover Grand Seiko. They would maybe buy a Tissot, a Longines, or a Panerai, or a Jaeger-LeCoultre. And so Rolex really helped other brands selling watches. What's going to happen now? You go to a Bucherer store, you can't find the Rolex you want, you look around and you decide to buy Breguet. Well, Breguet is owned by the Swatch Group, if I'm not mistaken. The Swatch Group has sold to a Bucherer at wholesale prices that watch, and the bulk of the profit is going to go to who? Well, to Rolex, which owns Bucherer. Isn't that genius? While I don't think that it was a planned move, I think it's a move that they could not have done, and that they are going to see a lot of benefits from it, a lot of synergies with their business. Of course, managing retail is not the same thing as making watches. And same thing with, for example, Patek Philippe. I think they don't want to sell watches directly themselves, managing that. And look how it is going for them. You can't get any Patek anymore, right? Only VIPs who already have too many of them can get the watches. So interesting, I think, move by Rolex, and a move, once again, that they could not have afforded not doing. Tell me what you think about this in the comments. Bye-bye, guys.